obviously the state of the nation called Nigeria.
Okay.
And so there are two divergent views. There are those that think for the nation to make progress, it must be divided. The North be on their own, the South could form a new federation, or maybe what some argue, the South and the Southeast should go back to the old Eastern region, the way it was been before, that is the Biafran state. And maybe you have the Midwest or the Western region. Now, what would be your candid view on this, on a national discourse? Because these are some things we, basically discuss here to see how do we actually make progress?
Okay.
Again, or is it that our issue is actually not the system that we run, but the individuals that run the system?
Okay. If you take a wedding cake and slice it, the ingredient that was used to bake the cake will reach every person. If we slice Nigeria and make every local government area a country, the same oligarchy will be present in each of them. The same incompetence will be present in each of them. The same greed, impunity, and wickedness will be present in Biafra, present in all these places. So the point is, I have said that the Nigeria should be bringing out their best, a system I have designed. Let's have, number one, let's make politics unattractive financially, so that only the best and those who are willing to serve will come to serve. The Nigerian political system is too lucrative and too exciting that every Tom, Dick, and Harry wants to come in. Number one, my balloon theory. Let's have the 6 geopolitical zones produce 1 president each to the Presidential Council. Each region will then bring their best to the table. You will do a ballot. The ballot will be supervised by the former presidents, former deputy vice presidents, and Attorney General of the Federation and INEC to determine who will be the presidential spokesman first and the sequence. Number 2, let's not have national parties. Let's have these geopolitical parties in the 6 zones. Number 1, it reduces cost of politics. Number 2, it prevents a gang from holding the whole country to ransom. Contest in the Northwest, contest in the Northeast, contest in the North Central. Do your politicking there. Don't come to any other area. Then you produce your best. We will not have national parties. We will only have regional parties, like the Scottish national parties, UKIP, and some other parties. So when you have these parties in the different regions, distribute the portfolios. So because one of the things about zoning governance and all that is just to get contracts and create lazy rich people. But let the portfolios be such that defense, internal affairs, external affairs, petroleum, finance, and one of the goes to each of these members of the presidential councils. Now, you will now see that the regions will now have a sense of belonging, a sense of fulfillment without the present tension. And then they will have a clause of the ability to recall a non-performing presidential spokesman or representative. If it is so, if a president is not performing, his people will have recalled him to his side. So we don't have crisis with that side that recall their persons. Scrap the Senate. A Senate is not a retirement office for people to come and sit as if they are in beer parlors. Scrap this, most of them sleep. Scrap the Senate. Have the House of Representatives. Let the highest paid politician earn the salary of a professor and the allowances of a professor. Let them come on specific dates. When they earn the salaries of the professor and come on specific dates, they will feel the pain
Yeah, but
of the people.
if they want to earn the salary of the professor, they will increase the salary of the professor. I mean,
If they increase the salary of the professor and make the universities conducive, then education will be good.
No, but that is only the professor. The professor just, in your theory, he climbs the ladder and becomes one of the oligarchs.
No, but that is the peak of in the educational sector. It will percolate down. The monies you will save from the Senate. Do you know, apart from Singapore, Nigerian senators earn the highest. Do you know Donald Trump pays rent in the White House? But I'm also hearing that we pay rent for Aso Rock. I don't know who owns it. I don't know if we even lease this country from somebody. So, my brother, I don't know. There are some things I hear. I just wonder whether I'm alive. That we pay rent in Aso Rock. Who owns it?
The one who built with oil money.
Don't be sure you built it, or it might be Julius Berger or one person that built it. I don't know whether it's loan that we're still paying back, because sometimes if care is not taken, some of us will be used to pay loans. So by the time you reduce the pay, I'm just using the professor as an example, you will find out that there will be more money available for development. And when more money is available for development, you will see that this nation will move forward. It will breed competition for development in the different areas. So
in summary, you are not you are against dividing the nation. Rather,
let me tell you why I'm against dividing the nation. Our population is an asset. Even if China does not export goods, domestic consumption alone would look at the BRICS countries. Brazil is a large population country. Russia is a large population country. India is a large population country. China is a large population country. South Africa, relatively large population countries. The economies that are doing well are large population countries because of domestic consumption. And then, if we fragment this country, Cameroon can overrun Biafra. If Boko Haram can threaten the whole north and threaten a large part of Nigeria, that means Niger, if Chad cannot enter Nigerian territory to drive Boko Haram, that means these countries can overrun a segment of Nigeria. So the large population is good for us. I give you an example. The stress that we already integrated, the stress that will evolve will be like debating the soft boundary between Ireland and England. Now, that means you will need visa to go to Kano State. That means we'll be importing, we are not yet importing onions with foreign currency. It is expensive. So when we start importing onions, it will become more expensive.
But that could be dealt with. It could be
dealt with because onions grows here. So
I know, I mean, it could be, when we think more about towards confederation, don't you think?
Yes. If the federal republics, as we have it now, can function constitutionally, then we don't really have problems. I like the large population of Nigeria. I like the diversity. It's good for business. It's good for entertainment. It's good for sports. It's good for everything. But I don't want Nigeria to divide.
Well, it's an opinion, but let me quickly, before I conclude here, take you on, the concept that you basically mentioned before, where you said that the former heads of states, the former attorney general, so basically that will be disenfranchising the people. The people no longer have the right to select who governs them, because we would have.
No, the people will have been like South now. Let's assume that Donald Duke won as our presidential representative. It is we that voted Donald Duke. Let's assume that Zulum won in his own zone. They voted Zulum. Let's assume that El Rufai wins in his own zone. They voted El Rufai. Let's assume that Kwankwaso won somewhere. They voted Kwankwaso. Let's assume that Ambode won in the Southwest. They voted Ambode. And then in the Southeast, Peter Obi wins. They voted Peter Obi. Is their representative to the presidential council?
Of course, yeah, but there is another caveat you put in there, in the manner of selection.
the selection, I don't want the Trump effect to take place of refusing to leave office. Now, if there is this committee of respectable elders and past rulers that will say, you are the person that will take the first shot for 2 years, the next person for the next year, the next person for the next year, it is gazetted, the House of Representatives pass it as a law, it is abiding. Because we respect elders in this country. We respect people in this country. So if these people have decided and determined that this is how it is going to be, and it is established, every person knows his turn. And particularly about the Southeast, you will see that assuming it is a Southeasterner that by ballot or whatever won the right to contest, to be the presidential spokesman. Let's assume it's Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. For 2 years, the Easterners will have produced a president. Then you bring a South man, they will have produced a president.
Yeah, but
this idea of holding power on behalf of the people without producing any results for the people. The North has ruled for so many years. There's nothing to show.